figure it out. I was starting to fill us out. I'm just kidding.
Hold on.
Do they all know about this?
No, nobody knows.
Put on reading glasses, read out loud.
Hang on, Cash.
Who's this really from?
Me and Dustin.
From us.
Dustin and I.
The only thing better than having you as parents is our baby having you as grandparents. Oh my God!
What do you mean?
July 10th.
What do you think she means?
July 10th.
You're pregnant? Oh my God! Did y'all know that?
No.
Oh my! Did you pray?
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Mom, we got one for you. Me and Jeff have one for you.
wants the brush?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Dustin, you still got the scissors there.
Yeah.
That's coming out of that box, so Tracy. You got your mouth too full. Spit it
Are
out.
you serious?
Spit out.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Hope you enjoyed those videos. That's our family's reaction to our pregnancy. So today I want to talk about my pregnancy, being in a wheelchair versus an able-bodied person. We told my OBGYN that we were going to start trying soon. So she said to make sure that I start taking my prenatals and to just give her a call whenever it happens. So she did her research on SMA. She had never had an SMA patient get pregnant, so I was going to be her first. So I had called her on a Monday, called her office to let them know that I was pregnant, and her reaction was, well, that was fast. So I made an appointment for that Wednesday, 2 days later, to have my first ultrasound and blood work. They did my blood work, and they said that my hormone levels were pretty high, so they said to check for twins during my ultrasound. During my ultrasound, there were no twins, but I was actually further along than they had expected. We thought I was going to be 4 weeks, and I was actually 8 weeks along. Because of my disability, they wanted to send me to a high-risk doctor so that he could follow me throughout my pregnancy. So I met with him a few weeks later. He did his own blood work, and he said everything came back great, but he still wanted to follow me throughout my pregnancy just to make sure everything goes smoothly. He wanted to see me every 2 weeks for an ultrasound. So remember, my mom lives an hour and a half away, so she was driving down every 2 weeks to go with me to my doctor's appointments. It was pretty cool having an ultrasound every 2 weeks. A little bit of a hassle to take off work, but it was nice to be able to see him, see the baby every 2 weeks, and to get pictures throughout the whole pregnancy. The first sign of pregnancy was I had lost my strength. I had lost it before we knew I was pregnant, and I was very nervous that the SMA had just taken a toll on my body. I wasn't able to wash my own hair anymore. If I talked a lot, I was out of breath. If I turned to talk to someone beside me, my neck muscles were getting tired. And so I was really nervous that the SMA had progressed really fast. And I was happy to find out that I was just pregnant and that this was temporary. My arm strength didn't come back until about my 3rd trimester, and it only came back, I would say about halfway came back. So it didn't fully come back until after the baby was born. Probably about 2 months after he was born did I fully get my strength back. It did long-term affect my lungs. I don't feel like my lung capacity is quite as good as it was before, but it's not bad enough that I need to do anything extra. So another thing that happened before I knew I was pregnant was my hips had shifted, and I could tell I was sitting different in my chair, and I was starting to get a pressure sore. So after we found out we were pregnant, again, I was relieved to know that this was not a long-term effect, but I luckily had an old wheelchair seat in the closet, so we switched them out a few months into my pregnancy once we figured out that it was going to work, and it did help with my hip shifting, and my pressure sore went away and got better. Not only was I physically weaker, but I was just drained by the end of the day. I was coming home from work at 5, just exhausted, wanted to go to bed. So I would eat supper, take a quick shower, and go to bed by 7 o'clock almost every night. Another side effect was I was super hot. I got pregnant in October, had the baby late June. So not only was I bigger, but it was in the middle of summer. So I was super hot. I had fans on me at work to keep me cool, had the air conditioner on high in the van, and I had our house set to about 64. In this picture, my husband is in sweatpants and a sweatshirt and hoodie, while I'm over there in shorts and a t-shirt because I'm so pregnant and hot. Throughout my pregnancy, I don't think I ever got sick. I never felt too nauseous to throw up. I would get queasy sometimes, but never have the morning sickness that a lot of women deal with. My early cravings was fruits and salads. That lasted for the first trimester, and then I just ate normally, ate all the time, but I ate normally. I did lose 3 pounds early into my pregnancy, and then throughout my whole pregnancy, I gained a total of 12 pounds. The only concern that my doctors had with me was that I wasn't getting enough protein to support the baby. Because of course the baby takes everything out of you, takes all of your vitamins, takes all of your nutrients. So I had to increase my protein intake. I was drinking one of the Premier shakes a day to help me get protein. They're really good. Really good source of protein. I think it gets about 30 grams per drink. Plus I was eating all the time, morning and night. So he was growing well and I was gaining weight. My caregivers did a great job helping and lifting me while I was pregnant, but towards the end of my 3rd trimester, I was very big and they were having a lot of trouble lifting me, not only because I had gained some weight, but also they couldn't lift me like they used to because I had this big old belly on the front. So probably the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy, my husband had to do the lifting and they did the other things, the cooking, the dressing, the cleaning. So luckily he was there every time that they had to help me so that they didn't hurt their back lifting me while I was extra heavy. Another side effect of pregnancy was my teeth shifted. I had braces back in middle school. I had crooked teeth and an overbite, and I had braces for 3 years to fix that. Then whenever I got pregnant, my overbite came back, and my teeth are still straight, but I still have a pretty bad overbite that was once fixed and now it's back. Another side effect was my face broke out really early in pregnancy before I even knew. My face broke out really bad acne, and it stayed around until about my 3rd trimester. Met with a different dermatologist that gave me some face creams that could be safe with pregnancy but also help with the acne. Unfortunately, I had such bad acne for so long that I now have scars on my face. The dermatologist said that she can probably help with that, but it needs to be done once we're completely done having kids, and we're not sure if we're done yet. So I'll probably do that once we finally decide long-term life goals. So later in my pregnancy, in the 3rd trimester, I started losing my hair. And while I was breastfeeding after he was born, I literally lost half my hair. My husband was having to clean the drain out every week in the shower, and I was just pulling out chunks of hair. The baby is now 15 months old, so I'm growing hair back, but it's hanging about halfway down my face, so I'm waiting for it to fully grow in so I don't have to pin it all back so it looks normal. But it is growing, so we'll get there eventually. I would say my pregnancy was pretty easy compared to able-bodied and disabled women. I had a really easy pregnancy, never got sick. My high-risk doctor followed me up until 34 weeks. He saw me every 2 weeks, took ultrasounds every 2 weeks. He said everything went perfect. So once he stopped following me, my OBGYN started following me every week. And we scheduled my C-section for week 38. We took him 2 weeks early. And I will talk about my labor and delivery in my next video. So be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions about my pregnancy, please comment below. And be sure to hit the bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. See you next time.